and welcome back to Drinking by My Shelf. My name is Emma and today it's Tag Tuesday, so I'm going to be doing the spring reading tag. And this is a video that I was tagged in last spring by Emily from Possibly Literate. Sorry Emily that it's taken me a whole year to catch up to this. I'm now going to answer these questions. Question number 1. Which books are you most excited about reading over the next few months? So over all of the months of spring, I have so many books I've written down to read. I can't possibly go through all of them here. So I literally grabbed the first 2 that I saw on my shelf that I know I'm planning to read in spring. There is no method to this madness, but these are ones on my list. And those books are For Today I Am a Boy by Kim Fu. This one is going to be the April Girl Sex 101 book club pick. Yes, you heard that right, we are bringing that back. So if anyone wants to read along with us, this is the book we're going to be reading and we will all upload videos about it at the end of April, I guess. And then another book I'm definitely going to read in spring is The House Swap by Rebecca Fleet. This is an ARC that I have been sent and this book is coming out in May, I believe, and it looks really spooky. You know I like a spooky book, so I'm definitely going to be reading that one. Cool, that was a very arbitrary answer to that question. Question 2, which book makes you think of spring? And again, this was a pretty arbitrary answer. I had a look at my bookshelf, kind of went along the books, and I just grabbed the first one that I was like, ooh, that's kind of springtimey. And I think that was mainly because it had like daisies on the cover, but this is Road Ends by Mary Lawson. Those aren't daisies. I mean, Emma, like, be better at flowers. And also this book is very much about hope and new starts. It's a very sad book about hope and new starts. It's kind of bleak, but those are the themes, and those are some springtimey themes if you ask me. Also, I love that book, so recommend. Question 3. The days are getting longer. What is the longest book you have ever read? And this one is not arbitrary. I have a clear answer for this. The longest book I've ever read is House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski, which looks like this. It's bloody enormous, it's like 800 pages or something. It's a long book. Took me like a year to read that. Question 4, what book would you recommend to brighten someone's day? And a book that always brightens my day is The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. I've read this like 3 times now and I always forget quite how happy it makes me. It also has a lot of sadness in it. My friend recommended this to me first, saying that it was a really happy book, and I started reading it and was like, are you insane? This is so bleak, this is so grim and upsetting, and it is. There's a lot of sadness in it, especially at the beginning, but it becomes really uplifting. And it's a story of female friendship and female love and sisterhood and just women being great. It always makes me really, really smiley at the end. But like soz that it will also make you cry. Question 5. Spring brings new life in nature. Think of a book that doesn't exist but you wish it did. Books that I know I would love to read, because I went to boarding school and I miss it. I would love to read more books set at English boarding schools, beyond Harry Potter, because I love Harry Potter, but the school that I went to didn't have witches and wizards, and I want to read something that feels like a little closer to my experience. Especially if it was a thriller. I feel like if I'm going to write a book, that's the book I will write, will be a thriller set at an all-girls boarding school. So someone who's better at writing than me, go and write it, and then I will read it. Question 6. Spring is a time of growth. How has your reading changed over the years? And I don't know, I feel like my reading has kind of come full circle. When I was younger, I used to read basically as much as I do now. It was like incessant. And I think then as I got a bit older, I probably started reading a little less frequently. I've always loved reading and read more than like your average person, but that probably went down a bit. And then over the last like 2 years has come full back up to reading like more than 100 books a year and just loving it. And I also like last year when I was kind of first on BookTube, started reading a lot more YA, and I've now grown out of that because I remembered that it's just not really my favourite type of reading, and I liked reading it because it was what everyone else was reading on BookTube. But to be honest, there isn't really like an arc that I can see of how my reading has changed. It's more like I've gone through phases of different types of reading and different genres and stuff like that. That was a shit answer, Emma. Plan before you speak. Question number 7. We're a few months into the year. How is your reading going? And my reading is going very well. Thank you very much for asking. My resolution this year was to read a little bit more slowly because I've been kind of racing through books and like forgetting them as soon as I finish them. And I have definitely been doing that. I set my Goodreads target to fewer books this year to kind of encourage me to not try and race through as many. And I am ahead of target because I just do read a lot of books, but I'm still feeling good. I feel like that's just because I found more time to read rather than that I've been racing through the books. I do feel like I've been slowing down the way that I read books, which I've been enjoying. And I've been sticking to my TBRs, more or less. So I would say Emma of the 1st of January, setting all of her resolutions, would be pretty pleased with Emma of the 20, whatever the fuck it is, of March. And finally, question 8, any plans that you're looking forward to in the next few months? So I guess this means not reading plans. So yeah, there are. I don't know if I can say it yet, but I am moving to a new job, which I'm very excited about. And I also am going to 2 balls this spring, which is just too exciting for words. I'm going to an Oxford ball in April and a Cambridge ball in June. Divisive as to whether or not that counts as spring, but technically it does. Easter's coming up. I'm going to the Isle of Wight for Easter. That'll be fun. Next week or the week after, I am going to the London Vegan Nights vegan food market. So that's also exciting. I feel like these plans have gone kind of like down in bigness from each one I've said, but they're all equally exciting, except not equally because some are more exciting than others. Alrighty then, bet you're glad that you sat through that whole shambles. Really should have planned out anything I was going to say before I sat down to film this, but instead I'm going to tag some people to do better than I did. I'm going to tag my gals, my Girl Sex 101 gals, Joss and Emma, to do this video. I am going to tag my Booktube to IRL bestie Angelica Kofa. I could tag Emily from Possibly Literate back again, and if she wants to see how her answers have changed over a year. And I tag any of you that want to do this video, because these questions are really good and I didn't do them justice, so I am so sorry. So, rather optimistically, I will be saying please do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave me a comment below letting me know what plans you are most excited about this springtime. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for new videos every Friday, plus some bonus days, whenever I feel like it. Count yourself lucky when that happens. See you next time!